Yeah, this real-time analytics, this is not the first time company has tried to create it. Even earlier, like people had created, like different teams had created this real-time fast BI solutions, but each one of them had their own set of problems. Like one of them had uh, the platform that we had chosen, like Storm topology, it was not scaling up. Then at that point in time, we were writing it to Druid server, and the Druid server was not scaling up properly. And another thing was it was not integrated to the common analytics platform across the company, that is Lens or Clarity, whatever you want to call it. And since due to that, most people in the company, they didn't even knew the existence of this real-time reporting, and that is why there was not widespread like usage of this real-time reporting earlier, and also like it had its own set of technical issues. So now, like looking back, like all the failed solutions, like what we are adding up, we are adding all the problems that we are fixing all the problems that we had seen earlier. And so one of the key things that we are going to do about this implementation is we are going to integrate with Clarity and Lens, and you don't have to do any metadata enrichment during your streaming pipeline. So the metadata will come out of the box the way we are already doing the batch reporting. Like already those metadata tables are there. All we have to do is like during the runtime of the query in the Clarity, it will automatically do a join with those metadata, and it will pull it off. And and another thing is like I don't think so like the size of this data, even though like we are capturing this data and we are grouping this data every 1 minute, but this data won't be like that big. But let's say even if it becomes too big, then we can have like one more aggregate after like 30 minutes or something. So so like for so like almost like for first 6 hours, like you will have like real time of data. And another thing like that we and another thing that we are seeing is Jui, can you take to next slide? Yeah. So the latency that we are seeing in our current pipeline is whatever we are seeing, it is around 2 to 4 minutes. We can definitely reduce it, and and the cost that we are seeing, what we had done the benchmarking earlier, we had done it for batch pipelines, but since at that point in time we had used like Spark batch jobs, and now we are using Spark streaming. So I'm assuming more or less the same. So we are using like at that point in time we had got like $60 to $80 per TB of raw data processing. So more or less it will remain the same. For SSP, like we calculated for the billing impression click beacon, it comes to around like $3 to $4K per month, roughly, like maybe like around like 1,000 plus or minus, but it is somewhere around this. And and SSP, like by the way, is geographically distributed. It is there in like three different data centers. Like with this POC, like we have made sure that the data from all the three different locations is collated and is pushed to like one Snowflake table. Through that, like the end user will get a unified reporting. He need not have to bother where the data is coming from and which data center it is coming from. It is all taken care. It is seamlessly for him. Yeah, can you go to the next slide? Yeah, Niti, can you take over?
Yeah, okay, I think I'll take over from here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we will be speaking about how we are actually achieving the latency that Raj mentioned of 2 to 4 minutes. So this is the whole architecture as you can see on the slide. So we can have multiple data sources. So the important thing is that this is not specific to any single line of business, and we will be supporting multiple lines of business with the same solution can be used across multiple kinds of data. So we have multiple data sources that you can see on the left, and from there, like from all the data sources, we are pushing the data into an event queue, and from there we will have a stream processing engine which will basically process the data. There could be different streams of data, and each of them could have like different schemas, but that doesn't matter. And like for every individual stream of data that we have, we would be writing that to a blob store, and from there, that data will be written to Snowflake. I think Niti will cover that. Yeah, Niti, you can
Yeah,
go ahead.
Sure. So as Aditya mentioned that we have this continuous inflow of data from this stream processing engine, and for our demo currently, we have been using Spark Streaming. So post Spark Streaming, we'll be continuously writing data to a Azure Blob container, and from there on, we have configured Snowpipe to actually load data whenever data is available on the container. That data will be loaded onto Snowflake tables. So we have for this demo's purpose we have created tables, and we have also tried integrating. We have done that POC to integrate with the Azure Blob container, and so the Snowpipe will basically receive a event message via Event Grid, and post that this data will be loaded into an Azure storage queue. From there on, it will be copied onto our Snowflake table and in with the desired schema. And on that table, we can then run whichever aggregation queries that we need to run, and that will be taken. The aggregation and querying part will be taken care by Lens. I think then Raj will cover that.
Yeah. So like the data, like from the Snowpipe, the data gets loaded to Snowflake. In the Snowflake, we have created a table for this, and in that table, the data will keep getting loaded every minute or so. And on top of this Snowflake, like we are on for the querying layer, like we will be using the Lens, and the metadata and other stuff, like which already SSP, IDSP, like whatever those teams have already created the metadata even for the batch data, like the same thing can be used it. We don't have to enrich any of our pipelines, and on the runtime, the Lens user can create a query, and in on the runtime, metadata joins are generated, and via Clarity, we are going to surface this report. So there will be not much of an effort on the this on the report analytics and reporting side of this. So, and regarding how the query look and feel, Juhi will be covering in the later demo session. Yeah, that is about it. Yeah, Aditya, you can take over the next slide.
Yeah, so now I'll be covering that why we are actually doing this and what is the value that this whole real-time reporting is adding to the company. So the demo that we did, first of all, that was on SSP click data, and that actually we were able to ingest it very quickly within like a period of 2 minutes or so. But the use case of this real-time reporting is not limited just to that. So we can apply this across different lines of business. Like we have real-time campaign insights and optimization. So this is one of the major use cases. So currently, what happens is that if something goes wrong in any campaign when an ad is shown, at that time there like the current Clarity system, it has a delay of about 5 to 6 hours. And even if some optimization has to be made, like a lot of money has already been spent, and like we don't get the desired installs or clicks and all. So for that, actually, if we have a real-time reporting system, we'll get to know that information within a matter of minutes. And then whatever optimizations, any fixes that have to be done, they can be done in almost real time. So like we end up saving a lot of money, and we don't have to just hope that okay, things are going well. So the next use case is impression capping for serving use cases. So this is something which is frequency capping is used across multiple teams. It is be it a DSP, be it Glance and all. So we don't want to show a similar kind of ad to the user again and again from a DSP perspective, or similar glance to a user who has already seen that again and again. So for that, we can actually use this real-time reporting. And since we are knowing it, we are seeing the data in real time, we actually get to know if something is going wrong, we can immediately rectify it in case wherever the problem is there in the system, it helps in debugging that also. Then another use case is this advertising spend and the inventory related metrics to publishers. So this is actually a very important thing when we have some big billion day or some 1111 or those kind of things. So then this is very important because there every hour is also like it's as important as a day of business that we do on other regular days. So this actually enables the visibility of having the advertising spend on their inventory actually enables the publishers to choose that okay, whether they should spend their whether they should give their inventory to InMobi or whether they should use other APIs through which they may be integrated. So this actually can help in increasing the supply and increasing the revenue for InMobi when actually by giving more visibility to the publishers on the supply side. Then this we can also see like various glances that we have. We can see the user engagement and like how the various glances are performing. And also like as some of you might already know, so Glance is actually planning to launch live shows. They've already started in some shape and form, and Glance is planning to go big on that. So you all of you might have seen like say on Hotstar, we can see that how many live viewers are seeing and like what are the whatever analytics they have. So all those things are available to the company. So a similar kind of thing will be required when once we have live shows on Glance. So this real-time reporting will also seamlessly apply to that. And another thing is real-time audience insights, where we do not actually need to create segments. Say currently on CDP, what we need to do is for analyzing a segment of users, let's say a set of males 18 to 25. If just to get this basic information, we need to create a segment and wait for evaluation, which will take like multiple days, 1 or 2 days it will take. So if we already have all that data based on this real-time reporting, we can immediately report it, and it basically helps in delivering better customer experience. So yeah, I think and some of these things are which will get applied immediately. Many of these things and some of them are like what we can actually apply in the future, how our solution will scale for the future, and how it will be used. So yeah, so this basically covers the current use case and the future scope for that. Yeah, that's all I think from our side.
Okay, so this is the Clarity UI, and here I can select all the dimensions and measures that we want to see the report for. So I will just select my columns here. So this is our event timestamp column. Then I will select another dimension as country. Then I can select maybe operating system. And my measure will be total valid clicks. So this will give me an aggregated value of real-time clicks in the dashboard here. Okay. So here you can see the values here. The latest timestamp is 22:21 and current UTC time is 22:25. And this is the total number of clicks that is aggregated across country and operating system at this particular timestamp. So, and you can see this is the HDI cluster job that we are running right now that is continuously reading the data from the event hub and dumping it into a blob storage account from which Snowflake is reading it via Snowpipe, as we have already explained in our presentation. So yeah, that's all.